Hi, I am Roxy. I am here to ask you to do something for Steve 6464. Can you watch as much of the video that you can? Then before you leave a comment. Make it a critique, a constructive criticism. Thanks. Oh, he's about to start. Bye.
Hello, 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 hello. Hi, I am Steve6464. Welcome back. This is season 10 of Let's Build This, part 2, uh, image challenge. We're still working on this one. And before we get started, let's review last week. Alright, that was last week, and before we get started in this week, I have some house cleaning to do. I still have some setup to do. We will be, this week we'll be mostly working in Illustrator, and I need to get a scene started for Illustrator. So let's do that now. Oops, something clicked too far. Not ending the stream. Alright, that's what I want. Yes. Window capture. Okay. Alright, looks like that's gonna work. Well, we need to put that underneath. I'm gonna put it underneath Photoshop. There we go. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I definitely want to fix this camera and maybe do some cropping on this camera, maybe do some cropping on this camera, but this one first. Alright, so we need that is camera middle center. Right, and we need transform, edit. Right, and we want to crop. Alright, so let's bring on the top. Alright, we'll do the left. We'll do the left first. Alright, do the left. Right about there. We'll do the right. To right about there. I'm going to adjust the bottom. We'll do the top. To right about there. Right. And then we will enlarge the whole thing about that much. Can we move it? Oh, that's left or right, huh? Try to move it between the two. Alright, that looks good. See if we can't get the exposure and stuff to match better. Alright, so let's go configure video. It's been a while. You think I would remember this? And I say default. Default is never. Right. Brighten it a bit. Maybe being a bit on the darker side is better for viewing. So gain is 17. Okay. Okay. And this camera now. Alright, we want transform, edit. We want cropping on the right. Okay. I don't think I'll do anything else. Close this. But we need to morph this. Pancakes, pancakes, powder to the sky. Oh, we need to make it deeper too. Fill in the whole screen. Okay, getting there, getting there, getting there. Alright, let's try that. And let's move this to the right. I think that gonna still hide a lot of the tools. So what do we want to do? We want to keep morphing this. Do I want to make these other cameras smaller? Can definitely make my camera smaller. Oh, it's locked. It won't let me. There we go. Now I can adjust it. Alright, I can bring the bottom up here a bit. I can bring the right in, bring the left in. There we go. Center camera. I can bring the left in on. This is my thinking face. Do I want to morph this more? Or do I just want to leave it? Maybe they'll let me dock the tools on the other side. That's not what I really wanted to do. Let me get rid of comments bar. Can I do that? Maybe not. Okay, well, this whole thing is one big palette. So let's just put that back. Okay, back to this. Why isn't it showing the tools anymore? Alright, so let's close Illustrator and say not save. And then let's open Illustrator up again. Okay, this takes a while. sitting here waiting for the program to upload. Now, back in the day, I had a pretty good grasp of Illustrator, but that was the early 90s. That's a good 30 years ago now, so haven't you really used Illustrator much since the mid-90s, I'm guessing. So this is going to be quite the experience. Used to be able to make blends and masks and mask to blends, and we'll see if we'll be able to do that or just have to settle for simpler stuff. Here we go. Okay. And OBS. Oh, yeah, it sees it. Okay. And I'm going to move OBS to my other screen, because up until now I've had it on my main screen. Oops. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. It says current views 3. Views 2. Is there a third person in the chat? Please say hi. Alright, so file, new, okay, we want inches, because we want the same proportion as this, and that would be 8. No, 13.5 width, 13.5 width by 8 inches height. Remember, we're leaving a 1/4 inch border around. Great. And what we're going to start on today is the spaceship here. This is really slow. And no, restarting it did not put the tools and palettes back to where is return to factory. factory settings. Reset preferences. Let's see if that does it. Restart now. Good. We gotta wait another 5 minutes. While we're waiting for that to restart and my dog is barking, I'm going to force you to watch this poem again.
See, I am here to ask you to do something for Steve 6 for 64. Can you watch as much of the video that you can? Then before you leave a comment. Make it a critique, a constructive criticism. Thanks. Oh, he's about to start. Bye. Hi, I am Roxy. I would like to recite a poem in prose. Written by Steve 6 for 64, aka Stephen Meyer. Titled, Craig McNeil. Flirtsbane Epic. Now children, let me tell you about a great man. Craig McNeil was a true Scotsman. Craig would run into the debates yelling freedom from the Flirths. The Flirths would fall to his left and to his right. They'd reset and fall again and again. The debates would go on forever. Although Craig would win them all, not much ground was made. The annihilation of the Flirths was slow but sure. With every victory Craig's fame grew. And so did his girth. Until one debate a Flirth did yell, "We got an easy one tonight, boys, we're up against the tight shirt." Although Craig won the day, he left the field ashamed. Quietly he slipped away, back to his Scottish lair, and swore he'd fight the tight shirt no more. Days, weeks, months, and years went to his goal. And when Craig was done, he was no longer Craig, but FDFE. Fight the flat earth. The Flirths rued the day they joked about the tight shirt. FTFE came back, with Emma on his right, Pal on his left, and Lucy behind with the snarky tech support. The Flirths had no chance against this Scotsman, this new and improved debunker. But foolishly they still thought they were right. But Craig, as a noble debunk warrior, would warn them before a fair debate. They could depart quickly and painlessly from Craig, or depart slowly and painfully in a dumpster fire from FTFE. As hard as Craig tried, the Flirths would never learn. They would not listen, overtalk, and just be rude. And FTFE would emerge and banish them to the dumpster fire. That is the dumpster fire that is their lives. The debates kept coming, one after another. The dumpster fires went on, and FTFE won everyone. But because of the Flirth reset, not much ground was won. Then a wonder happened. A holy man from across the sea said, "Come follow me. Let's go to Antarctica and see what the globe prediction predicts that we'll see." But FTFE could not. "I still have much great works to do here, but I'll send my 2 lieutenants. Michael, Dave, and CT, their ally from down under, went to the Antarctic to see the midnight sun, with others that I will not name, and that will be but maybe some other time over a cup of tea." As Dave saw spots through his darkened lens, CT, the ally from down under, weighed the things out. And Michael yelled, "Where are the guns?" FTFE replied, "They are right here hanging at my sides." With his left he knocked Keith flat right on his zoid, and with his right, slapped Nathan down like an old rotten oak tree. And when our adventures returned, with the evidence they had learned, the world of flirtdom was spun on its axis. Watching them cope was really dope. Flirts didn't depart right then and there. A few came back, while others tried a new set of lies. But FTFE and his allies knew what to do. They used the knowledge they had gained to use as truth to straighten out their lies. There were still many great debates to be fought, but with no surprise FTFE won, and flirts ought. Now children, it is time for bed. Don't worry, snuggle your heads, for fear of the flirts has been long dead. Hi, I am Roxy. I am here to ask you to do something for Steve 6 for 64.
Okay, one time is enough on that poem. We don't need to, we don't need to go through it twice in one day. So, as it happens, resetting the preferences got the tools back where they, the default position. You can't, I'm not going to try moving them, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. If you can see them or not. You might be able to see them on the lower left camera. But alright. So we're trying to recreate this, and I'm going to work on this today. Let's get our pen tool. There are other tools associated with this. Okay, just the pen tool. I think at the moment I'm going to try to recreate this part. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the side. Draw some anchor points here and here. Oops. And let's start over again. Up instead of down. Control R. It's not that fat. Yes, it's been a while since Steve has used Illustrator. What happened to my guideline? Okay. Guideline. Pen tool. Anchor point. See, it's not quite vertical. The sides do kind of come in. Right. But it is taller than that. Right. Okay. But now it's fatter. Okay. I seem to like that. Pen tool again. Select the node. Something happened. Oh, I didn't want straight lines. Motherfuck. Because it has no color, that's why my Okay, that is too much. All right, and I should be able to fix that. See, I don't want group, right? I just want so I just want one of these nodes. This is what I get for not keeping up Okay, maybe I have the right tool now. No, see, I don't want, I just want, the bottom. This is this is not the Adobe Illustrator I knew. I could select these handles without it affecting the other handle. Hey Roy, good morning. We're in Illustrator today. You know anything about Illustrator? Okay, I just want to grab one handle here without it affecting the other handle. And I believe I have the right tool, the direct selection tool. You're cutting off. It's the endpoint conversion tool. Okay. So endpoint conversion tool. Yeah, I haven't used Illustrator probably in over 25 years. Reshape tool. Endpoint conversion tool. Click and hold the pen tool. Okay. Oh, anchor point. See, I used to be able to do all this just using these two selection tools. There we go. All right, so let's buttons in your underwear. All right, I want to color this. I don't think I want to do a stroke. I would like to do a blend. If possible. Gradient tool. Perfect. But how do I get... How do I tell it what color? There we go. Okay. But I want a second color. What just happened? Kind of want the gradient to go from here out. And you can do it using the pen tool. You have to hold a key down and it will switch from pen to anchor point. Oh, yes. Usually that's like the control key. Okay, how do I tell it what colors I want in the gradient tool? God, this is really slow. Okay. For the main color, I want this. Alright. But for the second color, why do you keep going gray on me? Oh yeah, I forgot. Appearance. I don't know. In Photoshop, there's two boxes. There's one for the foreground, one for the background. This is just giving me a foreground and a stroke color. And I'm about to have a stroke gradient options. And this thing is running so slow. Alright, now how do I choose the second color? Yeah, maybe that will do it. Oh, stop going back to gray. Okay, let's use one of the default gradients. No, I don't want to be calm. I want to be mad and upset and make everybody else mad and upset. Yeah, I'm using one of the default gradients. Thought maybe if I open that I could edit new gradient swatch. Okay, we just lost that dialog box. No, I haven't figured it out. This is the gradient dialog box. It should. Maybe it was the one I had open. I don't know anymore. I might have figured it out. Interesting. Actors life for me. An actor's life for me. Alright. That red, which is a red I like, is RGB, red 233, green 62, blue 58. And I want this to be the same. So 233. 62, 58. Excellent. Can I get rid of these nodes, Roy? Some of these extra nodes, I think I only want 3. Clicking on them or double clicking doesn't seem to get me anywhere. Or maybe do I just move them way off to the side? Well, that's not what I wanted. I probably do want a slight angle on this. Of course, it's not going to let me I accidentally twisted it, and now I want to deliberately twist it. I can't. I don't want something quite as orange. Let's try that. Maybe not so. Click the house shape arrow underneath the gradient bar and drag it off the shape to remove the color. Yeah, that's what I've done. Okay. What do I want? What do I really, really want? Okay, now how do I rotate this? There we go. Nope, it's going to stay right there. Yep, I saw that. Thank you. Okay. I want the highlight to go a little bit more this way. Bring this in. And yeah. It ain't perfect, but then we're trying to recreate something that's AI generated. Alright. Okay. Okay, the oval tool. I hope this still works the same way as I remember. And it's going to default. Alright, be safe, Roy. If you want to draw something that's a perfect circle from the center out, Alt and Shift. Alrighty. Gradient tool. Rotate that. Zoom on magic bus. And we want this gradient. Oh, nice. Alright, probably don't need to pull it out that far. Let's do that. Let's make this color. Actually, there's like 3 colors. Okay, so let's make this color an orange, a yellow orange. Come on. Color picker can open up any time now. Alright, a yellow orange. I'm going to say that color. And then for this one, make it an orange. Any day now. And I want an orange, just an orange, but a really rich orange. There we go. A little brighter. And then this one is a yellow. Right. 255 red, 255 green, 0 blue. And oh boy, that is not quite what I wanted. I wanted a real narrow. Oh, this kind of works like a blend, a feathering. Alright, and let's move that on our spaceship. Right about there. We'll probably have to make it smaller. You know, go slower. Go slower, please. Yeah, I need to scale this down. That's too much. Okay. Add copy, edit, paste. Paste, just paste. Alright, let's just move this off to the side. Let's bring in a guideline. And we kind of want to morph this one. Oh, is that duplicating it? Why is it dragging the guideline with it? How about shear, not angle, but how much? I mean, I was able to scale this. It allowed me to have a box around it. Okay. Bingo. Got what I wanted. And I probably want to rotate this too. Right? probably want to scale this. %. %. Rotate a bit more. No, it wouldn't be. It would be vertical. Would it? Maybe a slight angle. And then we want to scale this a bit more. Scale. So 80%. 79. Oh no, it'd be because it's the new size, right? So 95. Um, 90. I think we're good at 95. Okay. All right. We're going to copy. And we are going to paste. Paste in front. And then we are going to drag this to the other side. Rotate it. And we are going to morph it more. And then we're going to move it onto the spaceship. Right about there. I think we turned it too much. now it's thinking about something. And yes, I do want the tangent. And I see on this camera, it is too bright. So let me take a break. And play around with the camera. Configure video. I wanted to do this after I did the other one and forgot. Click default. Okay, brightness, let's lower that. Increase the contrast. Let's lower the brightness. So. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, back to our headache. Let's save this before we have a major crash. On computer. Okay, save to YouTube. Live. Let's build this challenge and a spaceship. Very good, very good. Oh, version Illustrator 2020, I guess. I could save it back to the version of Illustrator that I had learned when I was taking classes. Yeah, all that is, the default is fine. Okay. I mean, it's not a perfect match, and it's not going to be. So far, so good, though. Alright, I'm going to work on its hat. Alright. Pen tool. Pen tool. Okay. Straight line. And this is a curve. A curve upwards slightly, because we were looking looking up at it. What is it giving me? Straight line. I don't want straight lines here. Straight line. And another guideline. But this is AI and it doesn't understand perspective. Oh, okay. It might even look better. Alright, this time the gradient is just gray. Right. I only need 3. So how do I get back to the default gradient? New gradient. Oh, but I want more than nut burgers. Can I add nodes? For now, let's use what we know. And we only want 3 of them. We want grays. Of course, grays are equal amounts of all 3 colors. Thank you for your participation in this effort. Okay, we want a dark metal gray. that for the left side. This one we want a lighter middle gray. And at the very edge, I'm going to want a darker middle gray, but not black. And I just want it to be a thin line. Right. So we move the house shape thing. And I did rotate the gradient okay, let's get rid of that. I changed tools, there we go. And then this goes plunk on top. Although there is some architecture in between the spaceship's hats and the spaceship proper. So let's move this up. And just how am I going to how am I going to imitate that? How do I make this no curve? That did it. All right, let's just start over. Fill in a couple guidelines. Pen tool. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, whatever. Boom. 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 No, stop doing that. Okay. Now, can we fill this with a texture? And I'm hoping Illustrator has some texture loaded. Color swatch. thought I saw preloaded textures somewhere. I could be mistaken. Yeah, alright. How are we on time? Running out of time. Okay, let's load Photoshop. Do I want to do that? Or do I just want to fix it in Photoshop? Welcome back. Does Illustrator have preloaded textures for fills? So what I think I'll do in the meantime then is fill this with a red. Is there an eyedropper tool? Yep. So fill it with this red. There we go. Okay. Move it into position here. Transform. Shear. No, it's not select the whole thing, just select the node. If you node what I mean. Very good. This one needs to come forward. Arrange. Bring to front. Lower this. Scale. Transform. Scale. Non-uniform. Start everything at 100%. vertically I want it smaller, 75%. Horizontally, let's make that 95%. Maybe even smaller than that, 80%. Then we want to move it up. And then the hat, we want to move up. Up. Windows graphic styles. Okay. But we don't want it that big. We want to make it a little smaller. Transform. Scale. Uniform. Start at 100%. Um, 90%. Okay. I want to make it a little more pointy though. What does transform each do? Scale corners. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. Windows graphic styles. Windows graphic styles. See what you mean by I might need to load more. Yeah, I was hoping there would be a red one. I'll just, at this point, when I import it into Photoshop and rasterize it, I'll probably just do something in there. But let's stroke this. So when I do rasterize it, you can't have a color and a stroke? What? I'm about ready to have a stroke. Well, maybe instead of coloring it so close to the original red, let's color it closer. A completely different color. Because once I select it in Photoshop, I can make it whatever color I want. Right. But let's select a really, no, I don't want to go too dark because in the hat. Right, let's just make it an ugly green. Right. Let's do that again. Ugly green. Save. And close. Well, it closed a whole lot faster than it opened. Let's open Photoshop. See if I remember how to import a vector graphic. And then let's switch to Photoshop. Oh, I don't remember what wasn't working. I don't think I had anything selected and I changed color. Or I couldn't figure out quickly enough how to stroke something. And as we slowly wait for Photoshop to open, I think I really need to start thinking about investing in a faster processor. It's a little bigger. Okay. Okay, and file, import. I guess it's not import anymore. But I think if I just open it, it's just going to rasterize it anyhow. I don't want it rasterized. I want to be able to scale it, transform it without it losing its vector graphics until I am satisfied. Let's build this. Okay, challenge. You see, this is just going to rasterize it. I don't want it rasterized quite yet. So I want to place it into see now what I'm going to do, if this was set, was then select this right? And then find some texture or create some texture to put in there. Or even do some filters on it, some noise and blur. Oh, this is going to be way too big for what? Edit. Paste special, paste into. Right. And scale. But of course, it's not going to be the beach scene. It'd be something a little more mechanical. You know, something like machine parts or electronic parts. Okay. And say no. Close. At least act like you're trying to close, and then you tell me, do you want to save the changes? And then we say no. Smart object isn't a choice. I have video frames to layers, notes, and WIA support. Open the smart object. There it is. But is this still... can't even think. Is this still vector? Or is this now rasterized? It looks like it's rasterized. That looks like rasterized to me, Roy. Yep, that's a raster. Vector mask? If I were to switch to paths, I guess I'm going to have to Google my question. So I used to bring in Illustrator images all the time into Photoshop, manipulate them around. They'd still keep their vector properties until you placed them. Place embedded. There we go. I think this is it. Maybe by switching to the zoom tool might have. Set that up here. And then let's do that again. Place embedded. Well, there's less choices for transform. All right. Well, I'll have to research this, but for now, nope, I don't want to save. But for now, let's go back here and let's look at the camera and say thank you for viewing this far into the video. Please like and subscribe if you feel the urge to. Have a nice day. Be safe. Be a friend to someone who needs a friend. And the last thing I have to say is,
look, an echo chamber of derp. Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp,
Gravity is not a force.
Einstein-based nuclear.
Jerp, 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 jerp.